What if I told you that every revolution in history followed the same hidden playbook? Not the one written in manifestos or chanted in streets, but the one written in financial ledgers and secret bank transfers. You've been told revolutions are spontaneous explosions of popular rage. That's what they want you to believe. The reality? You are watching Capital History. Don't go anywhere. The truth is more shocking than you think. Every successful revolution requires something far more mundane, yet powerful: money. Lots of it. From the French Revolution of 1789 to the Arab Spring of 2011, the pattern is identical. Financial crisis strikes, unemployment soars, secret funding networks activate, revolution follows. Consider this. France's revolutionary crisis began when the crown owed 1.3 billion livres from just the American War of Independence alone. That's more than double their entire annual revenue. Meanwhile, during the Arab Spring, youth unemployment hit 23% across the Middle East, double the global average. But here's what historians won't tell you about the financial architecture behind these movements. The French Revolution wasn't funded by angry peasants. It was bankrolled by wealthy bourgeoisie who controlled nearly 40% of France's national income, despite being less than 8% of the population. The Arab Spring? Social media platforms became the new financial networks, with hidden funding flows that most analysts completely missed. You're about to discover how secret money flows don't just influence revolutions, they create them. But here's where it gets really interesting. The French crown wasn't just broke. They were drowning in debt that would make today's national deficits look like pocket change. 1.3 billion livres spent on the American War of Independence alone. That's more than double their entire annual revenue, gone in a single conflict. Yet somehow, this financial catastrophe became the perfect storm for revolution. How does a bankrupt government accidentally fund its own overthrow? The answer lies in desperation. When Comptroller General Jacques Necker published his famous financial report, he exposed the monarchy's secret. They were spending far beyond their means, while the wealthy nobility paid virtually no taxes. The Third Estate, representing 98% of the population, carried the entire tax burden. But here's what's fascinating. The bourgeoisie weren't just victims of this system, they were its hidden beneficiaries. While funding the state through taxes, they simultaneously built parallel financial networks. Banking houses, merchant guilds, and trading companies created an alternative economic infrastructure. When Louis XVI finally called the Estates General in 1789, it wasn't to save France. It was a last-ditch attempt to extract more money from the only group still willing to pay. Instead, he handed organized, financially connected revolutionaries the perfect platform to coordinate their next move. The revolution didn't start in the streets. It started in the counting houses of Paris, where the real power had been quietly accumulated to 2010, and the game has completely changed. While the French Revolution needed physical gold and secret meetings in Parisian salons, the Arab Spring operated through an entirely new financial ecosystem, one where a Facebook page could mobilize millions and a single tweet could trigger mass protests. But here's what most people miss about the Arab Spring. It wasn't just about angry citizens with smartphones. Behind those viral videos and trending hashtags was a sophisticated digital economy that made sustained revolutionary activity possible across multiple countries simultaneously. The numbers tell the story. In Tunisia, Facebook users jumped from 800,000 to nearly 2 million during the revolution. That's not organic growth, that's organized mobilization. These platforms became more than communication tools. They became funding mechanisms, coordination centers, and propaganda networks all rolled into one. And here's where it gets interesting. While traditional funding required physical cash transfers and secret bank accounts, digital activism created new revenue streams. Crowdfunding campaigns, cryptocurrency donations, and international support networks could now operate in real time, often bypassing government oversight entirely. The Arab Spring proved that modern revolutions don't need gold coins or secret bank vaults. They need server farms, social media algorithms, and the kind of financial backing that can sustain months of coordinated digital warfare across international borders. But who was really funding this digital revolution? And how did tech companies become the new power brokers in revolutionary politics? So what does all this mean for our world today? The patterns we've uncovered aren't just historical curiosities. They're blueprints for understanding the revolutionary potential brewing right beneath our noses. Today's political movements follow remarkably similar financial architectures. Take the recent No Kings protests. Federal officials are asking the same questions that should have been asked centuries ago. Who's paying for this? Where's the money coming from? The tools have evolved, but the fundamentals remain identical. Where 18th century revolutionaries relied on bourgeois financial networks and secret pamphlet funding, modern movements leverage crowdfunding platforms, cryptocurrency donations, and social media advertising budgets that can mobilize millions overnight. Here's what every analyst should be watching. Unemployment spikes above 20%. Food price inflation exceeding 25%, and, crucially, the emergence of decentralized funding networks that bypass traditional financial institutions. The Arab Spring taught us that a single frustrated vendor's self-immolation could topple governments across an entire region. But it wasn't just about Mohammed Bouazizi's desperation. It was about the hidden financial infrastructure that turned individual rage into sustained, coordinated, revolutionary action. The next revolution won't announce itself with grand manifestos. It'll reveal itself through funding patterns, donation flows, and economic indicators that most people aren't even monitoring. The question isn't whether it's coming. It's whether we'll recognize the financial fingerprints when they appear.